Welcome back everyone. Time to do another comparison, this time between the Pixel 4a, as we probably would have guessed it. I've been doing 50,000 of these, against the 2017 phone, the Pixel 2 XL. Now you might be wondering why I'm comparing these two. Well, this is the older generation of this one. I want to see what the main differences are. And keep in mind that this used to be the flagship phone. The Pixel 2 XL was the flagship from Google. It was a pretty expensive phone at the time. I don't think the most expensive, but it was pretty expensive. Where the Pixel 4a, on the other hand, is the budget phone. It's on the opposite side of things, and there's definitely a difference between them. As you can see, these sizes are completely different. This is kind of a size difference. And the Pixel 2 XL is definitely bigger, but the Pixel 4a might be a nicer looking one, as you can see. When you have bezels on the Pixel 2 XL, which aren't even that big, they look pretty nice and pretty even. Where the Pixel 4a is actually pretty small, but it has that hole punch display. The bezels around it are much thinner too, so for sure when it comes down to it, I think the Pixel 4a is the nicer one. But let's go ahead and talk about the screens real quick. I'll start off with the Pixel 2 XL since it is the older one. When this one came out, it had a 6-inch POLED display, which is definitely a big size screen, and it definitely looks really nice. I think it's 1440p. Now when this thing came out, there were a lot of buzz about it having certain issues like the pink OLED display. I don't remember what it was. But I've owned a couple of these things. I never had any problems with them, so I think maybe it's okay now. I don't know, but for the most part, the Pixel 2 XL had a really good-looking display, and I still like it. I think it looks really nice. Bezels on the top and bottom, but you do have front-facing speaker setup. I don't know if they both work, but one of them work, which is nice. At least the bottom one works, and I think that's a really cool thing. Having that front-facing speaker setup is really nice, and it makes sense for the bezel to kind of be there for a little bit. So I think the Pixel 2 XL screen is good enough for the most part. But when you look at the Pixel 4a, this thing has a 5.81-inch OLED display, and it might be 0.19 inches smaller, but it's definitely a noticeable difference when I'm feeling both in the hand. The Pixel 2 XL definitely feels much bigger, but the Pixel 4a's panel is pretty decent. It's 1080p, and you're getting that hole punch display, which really gives the illusion that the phone is much better than it is, and it really is a pretty good phone. It's a good budget phone for the most part. The rest of the phone is a little bit weirder, but for sure when it comes down to it, I think the Pixel 4a has a pretty good panel, and I'm actually really happy about it for the most part. Like I said, size-wise, that's kind of the difference you're getting. And I mentioned this before, and I'll say it again. It just seems to me that the reflection seems to be a little bit more on the Pixel 4a. Like, the panel on here isn't bad, but it just seems like it's reflecting. But the viewing angles are pretty decent, so I don't really understand how to explain it. I think you kind of have to see it for yourself. But the screen is usually one area where budget manufacturers usually skip out on, and it seems like Google really made it their priority here. In terms of the thickness, this is pretty much what we're working with, and as you can see, I think the Pixel 2 XL actually is a little bit thinner than the Pixel 4a, which is kind of funny. I wasn't expecting that. And the one thing about the Pixel 4a is that it's also made out of plastic. The Pixel 2 XL is pretty much made out of plastic too. There's a little bit of like shiny, I don't know what this is, like glass, polycarbonate, I don't know what it is, but there's a little bit of that on the Pixel 2 XL. But definitely, I think the Pixel 4a is a good feeling phone. It's definitely smaller, but the Pixel 2 XL I think is the nicer feeling phone for sure. On the back, kind of similar setups. You're getting single camera setups, fingerprint sensors in almost the exact same location. And like I said, on that little glass portion, whatever this is, you are getting a little bit of a nicer setup and a nicer feeling on the Pixel 2 XL than on the Pixel 4a. And that might be one of the biggest disadvantages on the Pixel 4a, where in terms of just the way it feels, it doesn't really feel like the best feeling phone. Neither does the Pixel 2 XL, to be honest, but if you put a case on it and everything, then I guess it'll be okay, but you'll still feel like you have a pretty cheap phone when it comes down to it, in my opinion. So in terms of the outside, that really pretty much covers it up. Now I'll hit on the software, and luckily they're both running very stock software, which is really nice. It doesn't feel like I have like a huge skin on it or anything, which is really cool. I hate skin so much, but with the stock Android software, I really do like this, which is one of my favorite things ever. And unfortunately, with the Pixel 2 XL, it's on its last legs in terms of software. It's on Android 11 right now. I'm running the beta, but I think it's going to stop there. I don't think it's getting, like Android 13 or anything like that, or Android 12. I think this is stopping at Android 11, where the Pixel 4a on Android 10 is really just getting started with software. I'm pretty sure the A lineup, so with the 3A, 3A XL, and the 4a, they're going to be getting the same software updates as their number counterparts. So the 3A will last as long as the 3, the 4a will last as long as the 4. And I think in terms of that, I think that's a pretty good setup. And the software-wise, I mean, like I said, they're both kind of on the same thing. They both have the same features and everything for the most part in terms of the software. So once the Pixel 4a gets Android 11, the Pixel 2 XL will also get Android 11 officially, and I think that's pretty good for the most part. So in terms of software, there's really not much more to say. They're both on the same software for the most part. So that pretty much covers it up there. Now let's go ahead and hit on the performance, and I'll just tell you the specs really quickly, and then I'll go ahead and give you a real world example of use or speed opening test. I don't know why I gotta say it like that. The Pixel 2 XL has the Qualcomm Snapdragon 835 chipset, octa-core CPU, and 4 gigs of RAM on both models, where the Pixel 4a has the Qualcomm Snapdragon 730G chipset, an octa-core CPU, and Adreno 618 GPU, and 6 gigs of RAM. So with that being said, let's go and see which one is the faster one. Okay, and I do apologize if there's a little bit of reflection going on. I can't really see it that well in terms of the camera, but it looks kind of fine, but I think there may be an issue. So let me go and hop out of all these apps really quickly. So let's go and load up the Play Store. 3, 2, 1. And definitely the Pixel 4a was faster. Let's go and scroll down and see if there's any big differences. And yeah, definitely for sure the Pixel 4a I think was the faster one, but the Pixel 2 XL was kind of right behind it. I have a bunch of these third-party apps that we can get into. Let's do Temple Run. 3, 2, 1. And this one was in the game, so I'm going to have to restart this one. Temple Run again. 3, 2, 1. And it might look like the Pixel 2 XL may be the faster one in this case. And the Pixel 2 XL was faster there, just by a little bit though. Let's go and get into the gameplay, and I think they're going to be about the same. I don't think there's going to be that big of a difference. And in this example, it kind of looks like the Pixel 4a's panel is a little bit better, which is kind of funny. Let's do Temple Run 2. 3, 2, 1. And the Pixel 2 XL was just a little bit ahead of the 4a. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean everything. Maybe it'll load up less. Yep, the Pixel 2 XL was faster there. The 4a right behind it. And I don't think there's going to be that big of a difference. And as you can see, there isn't. Usually I just watch out for some stuttering in the beginning with or something. Let's do BOFA. 3, 2, 1. A little bit of glitchiness going on with the Pixel 2 XL in the beginning with, but it kind of recovered. But the Pixel 4a was definitely the faster one for sure. Let's do Snake versus Blocks. 3, 2, 1. And the 4a was faster, followed by the 2 XL right behind it. Getting to some gameplay again. Let's see if there's any differences. And like I said, maybe there is going to be some, I don't know. Yeah, they both look kind of the same, to be honest. Let's go and end it off with Re-Racing 3. 3, 2, 1. And the 4a was definitely faster right there, as you can see. Pixel 2 XL still loading. Maybe it'll have to download the thing again, I don't know. But definitely the 4a was for sure faster when it comes down to it. And I guess we're going to have to wait for the Pixel 2. And we do have to download it, so I don't understand why that happened. Usually it would be a lot faster on the 4a anyway, but it is what it is. So definitely when it comes down to the performance, I think the 4a is more times than not faster than the Pixel 2 XL. But the 2 XL still held its own for a 2017 phone. I have to give it some props. So let's go ahead and hit on the cameras. If you want to see a full comparison when I test the RAM and everything, I'll eventually do one if this video gets a lot of views or something. And on the back, like I stated, single camera setups on both, 12.2 megapixel sensors on both, and honestly, they're almost the same type of camera. They both can do 4K at 30. They both have pretty much the same things. I think they're almost identically the same camera, which isn't a bad thing. It's not really a good thing either. It would have been nice if the 4a had 4K at 60 capability. The iPhone SE2 has that, and I think there's another budget phone that has that capability too, but this one does not have it, which kind of sucks. For the Pixel 2 XL, it's kind of somewhat understandable because it is an older phone. It came out in 2017. Even the phones at that time could still do it. It is kind of annoying at the end of the day. So I'll definitely tell you with the Pixel 4a, I think it's the better camera, I'll say, just for the time being. But the 2 XL is pretty much right there too. On the front, 8 megapixel sensors on both as well. Single camera setups, and both can do 10 megapixels. I think they're almost exactly the same. But like I said, I'll give the edge to the Pixel 4a because it is the newer one. Now ending it off with the battery life. On the Pixel 4a, you're getting a 3,140 mAh battery, while on the Pixel 2 XL, you're getting a 3,520 mAh battery. In the case of this, I think the Pixel 4a, my Pixel 4a, has better battery life than my Pixel 2 XL, but I don't think that's the case for every Pixel 2 XL thing. Like, I think the Pixel 2 XL may have better battery life if these were both at 100% health capacity. I think this one has degraded a little bit because, I don't treat my phones the best. But the Pixel 4a has really good battery life too. But in this case, I think the Pixel 4a may have better battery life for my specific case. But the Pixel 2 XL, I believe, may have the better battery life just in general between both of these. Even though you have a higher resolution display and everything, I still think the Pixel 2 XL, if you're going to get these two brand new, which you're probably not, but if you're going to get this brand new, the 2 XL may have the better battery life. So to kind of sum up this video, to answer the question, should you pick up which one of these, whatever, if you have a Pixel 2 XL, going to a Pixel 4a is kind of a good idea. You're getting extra software support. This one's almost outdated. You still have custom ROMs and everything like that, but with the Pixel 4a, you're getting that stock software support. Very good phone, good looking phone, I think, in general. But the Pixel 2 XL is still surprisingly great. I still like it. There's really not too much to hate on it. It's a very good phone, great performance for a 2017 phone. Stock software, which is really nice. And if you have to go pick this one up, or if you have to use it for a little bit longer, I say go for it. This one at least has like an extra year or two of software in it, and then you can just do custom ROMs for a while. But for a brand new phone for the price, I think the Pixel 4a is a very, very good budget phone for the most part, I think. So that pretty much covers it. If you want to pick, so that pretty much covers it. If you want to pick either of these ones up, links will be down in the description below. That's really pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys can hit that. Also, check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. More importantly, everything else. I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.